Good afternoon, I'm Jeff. I'm a sewer tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 2216 Southeast Tacoma Street here in Portland. We're located at the front of the building here. We have two cleanouts. Looks like you've got a line for each unit apparently. And we're going to scope both of these here. First one's going to be the 3-inch ABS cleanout. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. We do have water running. Here we go. Alright, having a little bit of difficulty here with this first clean out. It's possible this is something other than sewer pipe here. Could be rain drain. As I try to put my camera into here, I'm meeting a lot of resistance to allow it through, which is much more indicative of a rain drain pipe. Anyway, I'm going to break my camera if I try and shove it through whatever turn this is, or at least it feels that way. Just looking into here, we've got standing water, so we've got some type of configuration there which is much more indicative of a rain drain than anything else, and I think that is what we've got here. Anyway, we're going to go through this 4-inch cast iron clean out. Alright, we're going to introduce water back to the line here. We're going to zero out the camera counter, and this is definitely sewer pipe here. Here we go. Alright, we've got a Y connection coming in here at about 8 feet out. It looks like someone has already scoped this thing because there's a bunch of paint markings all over the place. I can see the Y marking on the ground over here on the driveway. Now, it's an unknown source. It looks like all these units may be interconnected here. I'm seeing a lot of cleanouts over on the other units. We have another Y there, which would make sense if it's if you're looking at this house from the street, we've got a unit to the left of it and a unit to the right, and that would kind of account for both of those tying in there. It transitions here to 6-inch concrete pipe at 25 feet out. Yeah, we have a bit of a separated joint there. We'll have a better look at that on the way out when the pipe's all drained. And sometimes you'll get these big lumps in the middle of the flow line here if someone who installed the line put too much pipe grout in the joint. That, or we've just got a bunch of offset joints. Alright, here is the main lateral at 47 feet out. I'm going to do my best to get this located. If it goes out Tacoma, there's no way I'll be able to locate it. What I'm going to do is I'll reel the camera back right to around the street curb area and just confirm that it's going out to Tacoma. Alright, the line does indeed go out to Tacoma. I kind of walked over near the street there and picking up a signal, so I'm going to pull it back a bit here and just to confirm that. Anyway, the one thing I would look into here is it does appear that these units to the left and right of this particular building here do Y-connect into it. In Portland, party lines are kind of a big deal, so I would definitely get that checked out to make sure the city is okay with that configuration here. I suppose it's possible that they're rain drain connections, something like that, but there's a whole bunch of them. There's 2 or 3 different Y connections. I believe it's 2 Y connections in the line. And just looking at the cleanouts on the other buildings over here, it kind of looks like they're interconnected. Not having permission or being paid to go scope those, that's not anything I can go camera to confirm. Now we've got a couple little stringy, strandy items in the line here. They kind of look like roots, but I'm not seeing a point of origin where they're punching through a joint or something. So could be something else entirely. And sometimes you'll get pipe walls that are brittle enough that the roots can actually weasel their way in between the concrete itself. This is kind of a tough one to tell here. Anyway, we're going to keep reeling back till we get to the street curb area, and I'm going to locate and see at what point this line hits the curb. In Multnomah County, from curb to curb, it's the city's responsibility. Alright, I located the camera head right at the edge of the street, so everything from this point out is the city's responsibility here, which is great because that concrete's in kind of rough shape there. We do have actually lived in units here, so we do have some water coming down line. We have a Y connection here at 24 feet. The cast iron pipe here is still looking in fairly good condition, which is normal. It generally holds up a lot longer than concrete does. And there's our other Y connection coming in here at about 7 feet. Now this is the one, if I were to take an educated guess on which house each one's for, the one at 24 feet I would assume is the house or the unit to the right of this building, and this one here would be to the house to the left of this building. That's if you're looking at the house from the street. No, I would definitely contact the city and find out if they're going to allow this configuration to exist. If not, it just kind of depends. It's one of those properties that looks like it was built all together and they interconnected the lines, but at this point, if they're being sold independently of each other, that's where that can get a little tricky, so definitely contact the city about that. And someone was out here recently and has thoroughly painted this thing out, so at least there's paint markings everywhere, and I've located over the top of them to double check that. Anyway, that cast iron section of the pipe there is in good condition. We've got good flow to the street. The sewer line is functioning properly all the way out to the street. It's still functioning beyond that point. We've just got some pretty wonky concrete out there, but again, that is the responsibility of the city. So this little clean out here, this is the one I'm having the hardest time with trying to figure out. This, I'm assuming, is probably for the storm system, given we've got standing water, and it's very normal with storm. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to push out just a little ways. I'm going to make sure we don't have any other Y connections coming in. And that wouldn't make sense to be it right there at all. That's coming in from the opposite side. So yeah. Anyway, not seeing any more connections coming in here. Just those two Y connections. The paint marking over here in the driveway area, I'm seeing two different markings. It's a little confusing looking, but I think whoever was out here before me has had the ability to run their camera down all the different cleanouts around here, not just this unit. Anyway, as far as this unit goes here, the pipe we just scoped there to the street is in good condition, has good flow, and is functioning properly at this time. Most important thing out of all this is to make sure that the city is going to allow that configuration to exist. We've got a house over there with a clean out we're pointing straight at that looks like it comes right over and ties in somewhere over here. But not being able to scope those, it's hard to confirm any of it. They could honestly just be a bunch of rain drain connections for all I know.